Hello everybody, it's The Breakdown, and welcome back to another video on this channel. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, and I'm not really gonna elaborate on that. I'm just gonna say that I took a break for reasons, personal reasons. It's alright. But I mean, you're not here to listen to me talk about my life. You're here to listen to me review some movies. So in this video, I will be reviewing what I think is the perfect movie ever the best movie I've ever seen in my entire life. And obviously you know what I'm talking about since you've seen the title of this video, and it is Endgame, or Avengers Endgame. It's better said. So I'm not really gonna say a lot on this intro. I'm just gonna say that I mean it is really good. It left me speechless when I left the theater. So I mean, there's not really much to say about it. If you've not seen this movie, you better click off this video because you don't want to get spoiled. Because you won't enjoy this movie as much as you would if you hadn't been spoiled. So I suggest you click off this video if you have not yet seen this movie, because there's gonna be a lot of spoilers. And with that in mind, I'm just gonna hit the intro. So, let me start by saying that this movie really began with what I believe is to be like probably one of the best intros of a movie ever. I mean, we start off with Hawkeye losing his family, then we start off with the Avengers, or what's the remaining of them, just killing Thanos, which was really unexpected, because once I saw that, I was like, what are they gonna do now? Like, are they gonna go back? Are they gonna go forward? What are they gonna do? I mean, I did not know what they were gonna do after that moment. Because I mean, you killed Thanos, you pretty much accomplished what you said you were gonna do, but there was always that they wanted to bring him back. And I mean after 5 years after that event, you see that Tony has settled down, he has a family, he's married Pepper, but as always, Cap always has that, I guess, I don't know how to call it, but that sixth sense that, you know, something's wrong, you gotta fix it. And yeah, you know, it triggers, and now they have to go back in time. But Iron Man refuses at first, and so they convince him after, and they go back in time. So I mean, this movie was set up really well from the beginning, and I mean, it just kept going after that. So this movie is very well paced, considering there's a roster of 20 plus characters, and you know, it's not like, well, Infinity War said they were gonna have like over, I forgot, like over 50 main characters, which sounded ridiculous considering it only was like a 2-hour and 45-minute film. And I mean, they somehow pulled it off, and you cut that roster into half, and you have what, like 20 something people, and they still managed to pull it off. And this movie never skips a beat. Like, from beginning to end, there's always a character shining. But in this movie especially, you don't really see Thanos that much, because I mean, he completed what he was set off to do, which was to kill half of the universe, and he succeeded. So I mean, there was really nothing left to say about Thanos. So they're really focused on, I guess, the superheroes on this movie, and especially Cap and Iron Man, which was really a foreshadowing of their last movie, and you know, they wanted to give him the spotlight, right? So that brings me to my next point, which is the characters themselves. Actually, I just want to say that Thor is probably one of the best characters in this movie, and that's not saying because he had the most time in the spotlight, but because he was really funny. And I never really pictured Thor with a belly, like a dad belly, and it really, oh my god, the first time I saw this, I was like, are we really gonna do this? Like, is Thor really gonna be fat for the whole movie? Thought it was gonna be like, you know, a joke and then maybe cut after that and maybe Thor is back to normal, but no, they kept that fat Thor in the whole movie, which is really funny, which added like this funny effect to this already serious movie. You know, and the characters, the rest of the characters, I mean, Iron Man, Captain America, what else? Who else? Hawkeye. I mean, Hawkeye makes his return, right? And he's badass. Like, he's well, I wouldn't say the best, but the most badass character in this whole movie. And, you know, we get to see Ant-Man at least interact with the rest of the gang, because he wasn't there when Infinity War happened. So it's funny to see that, you know, everyone's joined, but it's not in for the right reasons, right? So other than the characters, there are the fight scenes, which are probably the best in, you know, in all the MCU movies. I wouldn't consider the first fight against Thanos, like the one that killed him, a fight scene, but actually no. Is there really a lot of fights? There isn't a lot of fight scenes other than the last one, which I actually want to talk about later. But yeah, I mean, I can't recall a lot of the fight scenes from the movie, since you can't really watch it again unless you go to the theater again. But I don't really recall a lot of fight scenes. I mean, I think it was the last one which really stuck to me, and before that I did not remember any other fight scenes. Alright, moving on. Sorry about that. The movie is balanced comedy and seriousness really well. I mean, I know Thor was fat and that was meant to be like, I guess, a relief thing, but it didn't really overshadow what already was serious, like the deaths of everyone. Yeah, that was like, you knew that was the main thing that drove the plot. And, you know, I guess they did a really good job inserting some comedy scenes, and so it was like seriousness, and then there was one comedy scene, and then they went right back to serious. So it really wasn't that big of a change for me, in my opinion. So unexpected events as well. Like, first of all, I did not think they were gonna kill Thanos in like the first 20 minutes of the movie. It was really surprising, because you never see that in an MCU movie. Like, you never really see an important villain die in the first 20 minutes of the movie, and that was really surprising. Oh right, Captain America holding the hammer, that was like a whoa moment. It was like, whoa, because I mean, that's literally in the comics, right? So I know it's the MCU and everything, but sometimes the MCU misses a lot of stuff from the comics, and they really nailed it with Captain America. Like, Captain America holding the hammer really surprised me, and that was awesome. The only thing I did not get is, why is he channeling the thunder with the hammer? Like, he's not the god of thunder, so why is he channeling the thunder? Like, you get my point, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess it's part of the hammer, maybe. But you know what? It was cool either way. I mean, I'm not gonna say that it took a lot away from the movie. What else? Well, I mean, Thanos coming to Earth, and actually, finding out that the Avengers were out to seek the stones before him. And, you know, I did not expect that. Actually, one of the questions that I had before watching the movie was, how is Thanos going to be involved in the movie if he's done, like, he doesn't have anything else to do? And that was really surprising, because I did not think that Thanos was going to be that involved in the movie. What else? Oh, okay. Switching gears here. The final battle. I wouldn't talk about this. The final battle in this movie is insane. if you've seen this movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not seen this movie and you're still here, get out of here. You don't want to listen to this. The final scene left me with, like, in shock. Like, it gave me goosebumps. Like, when I first saw T'Challa coming out of the portal, I was like, is this really happening? Like, it's like, Ready Player One, but better. And, it was everything. It was like, everyone in that fight scene got their, like, 5-second spotlight for, like, a little bit, but you still see them, right? You see Spider-Man, you see Black Panther, you see Doctor Strange, you see Iron Man, you see even Pepper is in the fight, right? You see Thor, you see Cap, you see everyone having their own little fight, which was really, really cool. And after the fight, you get the end, and it was like pretty much the saddest moment in the MCU by far. Like, you see dying, like Tony dying was, I mean, right, the first time you see it is like, it's sad, right? But after you think about it, you see that it was the best way possible to end the chapter of the 22 films I've already made, because he started it all, right? So if you make him retire, then that just doesn't really make the character complete his journey, right? Because if you make Tony retire, he can come back in any point, so it just seems pointless to put him aside. And I think, even though I don't want to sound like I want him to die, but the death was really, like, it was sad, yes, but it was like it was the right way to let Tony go in the MCU. And also when Cap retires, also that's a really good way to end it, because in Captain America: The First Avenger, you see that he promises Peggy one last dance.
Maggie.
I'm here.
You're gonna need a rain check on that dance.
All right. A week next Saturday at the Stork Club.
You got it.
But he never is able to do that. So I guess that's what drove him, sort of. Not like primarily, but you remember that sometimes throughout the movies that he promised that last dance, and he came clutch at the end. And and the last scene is them dancing, which is really heartfelt. But as I said, or I didn't say this. Not all movies are perfect, right? So this movie had one or two flaws which really don't take away from the movie at all. And one of them is that Captain Marvel was so underused in this movie. So she was there for the first 25 to 30 minutes of the movie, which seemed okay to me. And then after that, we see a really 2-hour gap of her not being there. So if you put her into the equation of the time traveling and all, it would have made a huge difference. And even in the final battle, she was not very used until the end, when she fights Thanos and beats him. And the other thing is, if you've read the comics of Infinity Gauntlet, you see that Adam Warlock is in it, and he kills Thanos in the comics. And in this movie, he's nowhere to be mentioned or nowhere to be found. So that's just puzzling to me, realizing that it's not really related to the comics with Adam Warlock. But as I said, these two things really don't take away a lot from my enjoyment of the movie. Oh yeah, and one final thing though. Yes, the gauntlet in this movie too. Going back to the good, I should have added this earlier. Shit. The gauntlet is really cool. It's not like the typical gold gauntlet you see in the comics in Infinity War. I liked it because there were speculations of, someone holding the gauntlet, but how are you going to do that if you did not have the elves in Nivlim? I want to say, I don't want to butcher this, but is it Nivlimir? But you don't have that Dying Star and to make the gauntlet, so I like how they use StarTech to make the gauntlet, which I think I would rather have that gauntlet than the original gauntlet. But that's just my opinion on this movie. I mean, what do you think of this movie? Like, I thought it was great. I mean, I'm not gonna rate this movie because it almost seems like disrespectful to give this movie a number out of 10, because this movie deserves way more than just a 10. But I'm just not gonna number it or rate it in that case. Yeah, so what do you think of the movie? Do you guys enjoy it as much as I did, or do you find it for some reason not enjoyable? You should leave those comments down below in the comment section. And this might be the last MCU review for a bit until Spider-Man Far From Home, which is in almost July of 2019, right? If I'm correct. So I mean, I'm gonna find other things to review in the meantime. I actually got one series that I want to review, and it's not got Game of Thrones. Pointing that out, it is not Game of Thrones. So I'm gonna post that soon as well, and we'll see how it goes. And yeah, it's been your boy The Breakdown, and I'll see you guys in the next auction await. Also, check my Marvel videos that I've done lately before Endgame, and I haven't finished reviewing all the movies, so I'll do that also in another time. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming too, and you know what, it's been a pleasure to see you guys again, and I will see you guys in another video. Peace out.